Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope all of you are having an awesome week so far. Students, this is an IELTS listening class and we're going to do some listening exercises, and I will show you some strategies and give you tips to improve your scores. Welcome Anna, good to see members in the class. Hi Carolina. Nice to see our chat moderator here with us, helping to answer questions and helping to make the class flow smoothly. Welcome Golzoda, Shakrani, Lanushka, nice to see many of you here. Students, the listening topics will be something about a warranty and volunteering. This listening material, these exams, these tips, you can find all the help you need for your IELTS exam at aehelp.com. For academic IELTS, visit us there. For the general IELTS, check us out at gieltshelp.com. These are our websites. They power these live classes and they help thousands and thousands of students to pass IELTS exams around the world. This is our academic IELTS website here at aehelp.com. To join the premium version and get all of our listening practice exams as well as other tests, click this big red button over there. It is a one-time payment for lifetime access. We are an IDP affiliate, a British Council partner, and an IELTS test registration center. You are in good hands with us. For general IELTS, it's the green background, gieltshelp.com. Again, click that button and use the code FUTURE10 for a 10% discount. The cost is about 30 to 50 bucks US. It's a one-time payment, lifetime access, and you get 2 more premium live classes each week when you're a premium user. We'll come back to the websites in just a moment and start the listening audio for you for the test. A little bit more about what we're doing here. So again, for those premium users, check out the premium live classes. Use this link here. Let me drop that into the chat for you. Perfect. There you go. The apps are Academic IELTS Help and General IELTS Help. You can download the apps from your app store and link it to your web account. And if you have questions, send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com or admin@aehelp.com. We like questions. We'd like to help you with the answers. Students. Yeah, Carolina, this is, I don't know who's asking that. Somebody's asking, what is this? It's a listening class, yeah. All right, so students, the schedule. So right now we've got this listening. We're going to focus on part 1 and part 2. Then we'll have a speaking class tomorrow. You will have a chance to speak using Zoom. Then for the premium users on the website, we'll have a task 2 class on Thursday and another speaking class on Friday. Now, I'm going to be on a short vacation in the following week, so in the week coming up. So we won't have class during that week from the 15th to the 24th. Please take a note of that. And I'll tell you about that a couple more times before that week arrives. And then the classes will resume on the 25th as usual with listening parts 3 and part 4. Okay. Thank you, Albagir. That's a very kind compliment. I appreciate you for that. Okay, students, so let's jump into it. The listening. That's why you're here, to practice for the IELTS, to practice your listening skills. Now, when you're listening, students, I have a feeling many of you have heard this already, but you want to practice active listening. Always, always, always practice active listening. This means to visualize the content. Basically means imagine what you hear. But it's a little bit more than that. Okay, it's not just as simple as, well, I'm just going to imagine this. There's a couple of tricks that you can use to help you listen and remember better, use the information better. So number one, Make it clear. So see it clearly, see details. Okay. Focus on seeing as much detail as you possibly can. Then number 2, include yourself. Okay. So very soon you will see, or you will hear, that part 1 is about a man returning a computer monitor that's been damaged. So he's taking back some computer equipment to the store, and there, instead of just imagining some faceless human, try to imagine you're the one who bought some object, it's damaged, it's not good, it's not working, and you need to take it back to the store. So include yourself. The brain just works so much better when it feels as a participant. Okay, include yourself. And then number 3, make it unique. So don't just imagine it's some simple piece of equipment, but imagine that it's an amazing piece of equipment. Maybe it's a large screen monitor that's the panoramic 3D version. Okay, so make it unique. Okay, so when you're visualizing, don't just simply try to see the basics of what you hear, but make it special. Okay. All right. So now we'll do the listening. Okay. I'll check into those Zoom links. I thought I'd already sent them. But I'll check into it. For this week, I'm pretty sure I have. Maybe I haven't. We'll see. Okay. If not, I'll definitely check that today. Okay, everybody. So thank you for chatting about that. So it's good to communicate to me. Thank you. All right. So visualize what you hear. Now, when you're listening to the instructions in the IELTS, you should always review the topics of all 4 sections. It's a very important tip, and you should be allowed to do that. There's no rule that says you can't. So when you listen to the instructions at the beginning, review the topic of each of the 4 parts. I'll show you what I mean by that. That can really help you. Okay. So this is the listening exercise we're doing today. This is our 5th exam in your online courseware. Okay, and here we have section 1. These days they write part 1. Okay, but if you're looking at an exam that's 2020 or earlier, that's going to say section. Anyway, when you start listening, there's about 90 seconds of instruction. So for 90 seconds, you will hear the audio say, this is the IELTS listening exam. It has 4 parts. You will only listen once. Write down your answers while you listen. You will not have a second chance. So you hear 90 seconds of instructions. While you're listening to those instructions, review the topic of each part. So you should look at, okay, what day did the man buy the product? Okay, so it's some kind of buying the product. What product did the man purchase? So it's something about a product and a man buying this product. Then you look at part 2. And again, you review what you see. So number 11, what is the name of the radio show? So this is some kind of a radio show. Okay. And then keep looking a little bit. Applies to volunteering, applies to charitable giving. Okay. And then what are 2 reasons charities can be inefficient? So again, it's charities, volunteering. Usually you will see the topic word come up over and over, like here, charities coming up over and over, charity. You don't see that one yet, but there it is, more charity. So you can figure out that the topic of part 2 is something to do with charity, so charitable giving. And if by some chance you don't know the word, like you don't know what charity means, don't panic, okay? It's okay. The audio will often explain what that is, right? And then review part 3, part 4 as well. So how long ago was the first record of trade between nations? So this is something to do with trade between nations. Country produces a product for 20% higher cost than country B. So definitely something to do with trading between countries. And then part 4. Part 4, often the topic is given to you very clearly, like here. They'll say Michelangelo. And if you don't know him, that's okay, but at least you know that it's a person. Okay? All right, students. So again, I'll show you this while we start the audio. I'm going to play the audio now from the website. And what I'd like you to do is exactly what I just showed you. So review the parts while the instructions are playing and start to visualize part one. So look at the questions, review, and then we'll talk more strategy after we answer the questions and go through them. Okay? All right, so let me get on my headset, get ready for this listening. We'll go back to the website, get into our My Student account. Again, for those of you who want all of our materials, just click that big red button. It's definitely worth it. And you go to your My Student account. In your My Student account, we go to our audio CDs. We go to CD 5, part 1, and then we get ready to listen. Here we go, everybody.
This recording is copyrighted by Think to the answer sheet. Now turn to section 1. Listening section 1. You will hear a conversation between two people as one tries to return a defective product. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. You will see that there is an example. This time only, the conversation relating to this question will be played.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great.
The man says he purchased the item on July 6th, so this answer has been indicated for you. Now we shall begin. You should answer the questions as you listen, because you will not hear the recording a second time. Listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5.
Good afternoon. I bought a product from your store 1 week ago, and I've been having difficulties getting it to work properly.
Of course, sir. Do you have the original receipt from the purchase? The first piece of information I need is the date you purchased the product.
Yes, I actually have it right here. I purchased it 8 days ago, on the 6th of July.
The 6th of July. Great. I also need the name of the product as indicated on the receipt.
Certainly. The receipt shows it as SOJO 232XD.
SOJO 232XD?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, yes. I see the product in my records now. It is a 23-inch computer monitor?
Yes, that's correct.
Now tell me, did you buy the extended warranty on the monitor?
No, I did not. I always feel like those warranties are a bit of a scam.
Perhaps, until you need the warranty?
Perhaps. But there must be some sort of manufacturer's warranty, right?
There may be. Let me check for you. Okay. Yes, it seems there is a manufacturer's warranty. The warranty is for 60 days. 2 months.
Great. Then I shouldn't encounter any problems in returning it.
Well, actually, we only accept returns for a week after purchase. Since you purchased the computer monitor 8 days ago, you'll have to deal directly with the manufacturer.
How annoying. What steps must I take then?
Well, the company that makes the monitor has a depot in Birmingham. You must post it to them.
Okay. Do you have their address?
Yes. It's on Edgbaston Park Road and...
Hold on. You'll have to spell Edgbaston for me. I've never heard of it.
Of course. It is spelled EDGBASTON.
And then the rest of the address?
The address number is 89 and the unit number is 5.
Okay, so 89 Edgbaston Park Road, Unit 5.
That's right. And the postcode is B152RU.
B152RU?
That's right.
You now have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 6 to 10.
Great, but one concern I have is the cost of posting something as large as a computer monitor.
Indeed. Such a product must weigh a few kilos and will certainly set you back some money to post. Let me see if the company takes such a problem into consideration.
Well, that would certainly be nice if they did.
Yes, it seems they do. They have a program in place where they pay postage for the exchange of goods under manufacturer warranty or product recall.
That's great news. What do I have to do to use this service?
It's fairly simple. You just call their Birmingham depot and request a prepaid postage voucher. Then you take the item to the post office along with the voucher, and the post office will take care of the rest.
Sounds simple enough. Do you have a phone number for the depot in Birmingham?
Yes, you can reach them on 0121 496 0633. Oh, and be sure to call during business hours. They're open from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening.
10 until 6, understood. One final question. What would I have had to do to return the monitor if I had purchased the extended warranty from your store?
Well, the process would have been much simpler, sir. You could have simply brought it into the return desk at your local store. We would have given you your choice of a new monitor, your cash back, or store credit in the amount of 110% of the original cost of the item.
110% store credit? Wow, that seems too good to be true.
Well, company policy is that we want satisfied customers, and when they are not satisfied, we feel the need to compensate them for this in some small measure.
Perhaps next time I'll buy the extended warranty. How much would it have cost on the monitor I bought?
Only £20.
£20 would have been well worth it to save me the trouble of dealing directly with the manufacturer.
Well, now you know, sir.
Indeed I do. Thanks again.
That is the end of section 1. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students, check your answers in that half minute. Let me just pause the audio on our website here, and we'll get back to the exam, and we'll go through the answers, everyone. So we'll go through these answers together. So as you saw the flow of the listening and how I did the listening, try to really copy that when you're practicing at home, that kind of flow with analyzing the questions at the start, kind of pacing yourself with the answers as you go through the dictation of phone numbers and addresses. All right, let's do this, everybody. So again, just a reminder to some exams that are 2020 or before, they'll have like section 1, but these days it'll say part 1. Older exams will also give you an example. They don't give you examples anymore for the listening. They stopped doing that in 2020. Okay, so number 1, what product did the man purchase? A computer, B, a computer monitor, C, a television. Hopefully everybody got that. Okay. What was it, everyone? Yeah, it was a computer monitor. Very good. Absolutely. A computer monitor. Good job. Okay, and then here, this question was a little bit interesting. It's questions 2 and 3. What 2 pieces of information are required to access the record of the purchase? So what does this person need to know in order for them to find what this man bought? Basically, you just had to listen to what she's asking for. She was asking for right? So she was asking for the date of the purchase. I heard her asking, like, when did you buy this product? And then she was asking for the name of the product, like what is it, right? What's the name of it? That was the two. So when I'm looking at this, SOJO, that's the specific name of this product, but that's not necessarily what she needs. She just needs the name of the product. 6th of July is the specific date of purchase, but she doesn't need that. She just needs the date of purchase, right? So, we need the name of the product. There it is, and the purchase date. So the correct answers are E and F. And if you got one of those, you pick up one. And if you got both of those, you pick up both. So here it's not the specific number or the specific name and the specific date, right? But this is what she needs. Okay, makes sense? So careful, critical thinking here. E and F, not A and F. Okay. Be very critical. Okay. Make sense? They don't talk about the serial number, Mariam. They talk about the date of purchase and the name of the product. Okay, next one. Complete the notes below. Write no more than 2 words. So this is dictation. Students, be really comfortable with dictation in English. They always have dictation questions for part 1, 2, maybe part 3 as well in the IELTS exam. So like credit card numbers, phone numbers, addresses, social insurance numbers. They will have dictation questions like that. It's an important part of being able to function in an English-speaking society, right? Any society, but in English, it's English, right? So they talk about the warranty, 60 days. This is a useful piece of information to identify where you are in the audio. Once you hear 60 days, you know they're going to be talking about this information that's below here. Okay, so the address is something Park Road, Unit 5. Alexander says it's Edge Bastion, and Cristiano Ronaldo, who blesses us with his presence today, says that it's 89 Edge Bastion Road. Abraham says 89 Edge Bastion. Yeah, and it's one word, Shakrani, and it has to be capital. So Abraham, yep, Edge Bastion 89. Yeah, that's the correct answer there for sure. '89 Edge Bastion Park Road. The postal code, or the post code, I guess in British English. I'm in Canada, we call it a postal code, but postcode. I didn't write it down because then I'd just be giving you the answer, but I'm hoping some of you caught it. Alexander says it's B152RU. Abraham agrees it's B152RU. Must be right. B152RU. I recommend capital letters in the IELTS exam for dictation. Okay, instead of small letters, they're just easier to read, less likely to make a mistake, especially with the BD confusion sometimes for those of us who are maybe slightly dyslexic. I do that sometimes. I'll reverse sometimes my letters. Sometimes people will confuse P and B as well. But anyway, large letters are less likely to be confused, or capital letters. So it's B152RU. Very good, Ugulhan and Gulzoda. Nice. Okay, so now it's write no more than 3 words for each answer. Number 6, in order to get free delivery on product returns, the customer must telephone the depot and request a prepaid. Now, in the IELTS, as you go along in the listening, the questions and answers get slightly more and more difficult. This one, you really had to catch the words. It's not a post voucher. It's not a poster voucher. Anna, very good. It's a postage voucher. Okay. The adjective in this case is postage. Postage. Okay. Very nice, Ariadna. A couple of you got it. Postage voucher. Yeah. Right. So that was the correct answer there. What is the phone number for the depot? Again, a little bit of dictation. Yes, getting phone numbers is very important because that's part of common everyday interaction. So what is the phone number of the depot, everybody? How can we call this depot to get this postage voucher? All right, I'm not sure if that was the full phone number, Anna. I think there was more to it. Did anybody get it? No, let me see. If nobody got it, let me see if we can listen back to that. Okay, 0121623. I don't, somehow that doesn't seem like the full number to me. 0121623. I don't know. That seems a little short for a phone number these days. Well, let's go back to the website and let's listen to that phone number again. Here we go. Probably around somewhere here.
Okay. Yes, it seems there is a manufacturer's warranty. The warranty.
What steps must I take then?
Well, the company that makes the monitor has a depot in Birmingham. The address number is 89, and the...
And answer question.
Yes, it seems they do. They have a program in place where they pay postage at Depot and request a prepaid postage voucher. Then you take the item to the post office along with the voucher, and the post office will take care of the rest.
Sounds simple enough. Do you have a phone number for the depot in Birmingham?
Yes, you can reach them on 0121 496 0633. Oh, and be sure to call during business hours. They're open from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening.
10 until 6.
Okay,
Understood.
I thought so.
One final question. What would I have had to do to return the monitor if I had...
I thought that was a little bit longer for the phone number. Yeah. Sometimes they'll repeat when they're dictating. Sometimes they won't. Try to catch it on the first one and then review on the second one, okay? Always try to catch it on the first one. So the correct answer for number 7 is 0121 496 0633. Okay, that is the correct number. Practice dictation, everybody. On the website in the audio, we actually have some bonus audio for dictation and for numbers. Okay, so try to practice that. Okay. IELTS listening dictation. It's an easy way to pick up marks. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the rest of the questions. So question number 8, for how many hours is the depot open each day? When you're doing multiple choice, students, try to think about it in terms of statements or what you would hear in the audio. Like in the audio, you might hear the question, how many hours is the depot open each day? And the answer will likely sound like this. The depot is open from something to something, right? And I think the answer was from 10 to 6, was it? I think she said 10 to 6. It was 8 hours by my calculation, right? Opens at 10, closes at 6. Yeah, Alexander says, yep, 10 to 6. Yep, 10 to 6 is 8 hours, yep. Okay, so B. Now, which 3 options are customers given upon returning an item having purchased the warranty? Now, when you have these multiple choice, and this is only worth 1 mark, which means you have to get all 3 of these correct, all 3 options. I recommend taking notes. So for those of you who were in the class from the beginning, you saw me take these notes. Like I was listening and it said, if you go and take it to your local store, and get a choice of monitors. You get to choose a replacement monitor. You get cash back, so you get your money back, or you get credit for 110%. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, well, these are the ones I heard. Are they here? So choice of monitor. One of these looks right. Exchange of item for a new one. Okay, that looks like that one, right? Cash back. Oh, there it is. Cash back. And credit, 110% credit. 110%. There it is. So I've got A, D, and E. And it looks like Risham and Anna and Alexander and Abraham all got that. A, D, and E. Very nice. Very nicely done. Okay. Now, number 10. The woman mentions an item that costs $20. What is this item? You have to listen for it. When you have a specific number like this, try to catch it in the audio. A computer monitor, that's just silly. You don't have computer monitors that cost £20. Extended warranty, maybe. Manufacturer's warranty, that's usually free. So even if I didn't hear this one, my logic should tell me that the correct answer here is B. Okay, and a few of you got that. Golzoda, nicely done. Right, manufacturer warranties are free. Should be, anyway. You shouldn't be paying for that. Ibrahim, a manufacturer warranty, that means the maker. That should be free, right? You usually don't pay for a manufacturer warranty. Manufacturer means whoever made it, right? Okay, so it can't be C. C doesn't make sense, right? Okay, students, how did you do? What did you get out of 10 for part 1? So part 1, what did you get from 10? That's right, Alexander. Yeah, it's included in their costing or cost evaluation. Yeah. Shakrani says 6.5. I don't know how you can get a 0.5. There's no half marks, students. There's no half marks. So you got 6 or 7. Sandra says 6. Abraham says 8. Risham says 8. Students, if you're going for a band score 7 or more, you really should get 9 or 10 in part 1. If you got 8, okay. If you got less than 8, you really need to figure out what's happening. Okay. Yeah, phone numbers are tricky, Anna. Make sure to practice dictation. Okay. If you got something very bad, then maybe it's time to be a bit patient, practice before you sit your IELTS exam, right? Use those course materials. All right, students, let's get into part 2. So part 2 is some kind of a radio show. We reviewed the topics, right, at the start. And it has something to do with volunteering. So giving our time to help, or something about charitable giving. One of those. Okay. So let's listen and let's answer the questions. Let's do this. Back to the website for part 2. Again, this is the 5th exam, so it's CD5. And then listening, section 2.
Now turn to section 2. Take some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Listening section 2. You will hear a recording of a radio news magazine discussing the importance of doing good in the community. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully to the interview and answer questions 11 to 16.
Hello, I'm Emma Robertson, and I'd like to welcome our listeners to Beyond the Lens, the programme that aims to dig deeper on issues in culture and society. Today we have Professor Hudson McMahon from the University of Bristol's Department of Social Policy. Hello, Professor McMahon. Do you want to tell us a little about what you'll be presenting today?
Of course, Emma. But first, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. My wife and I are both avid listeners of Beyond the Lens, and it's a bit of a thrill to be on the show. But I digress. Today, I want to talk about the importance of doing good in the community and in society. There are many ways of doing this, but the two most common ways are volunteering and giving to charity. However, these methods of improving community and society have an important difference. While volunteering one's time is almost always a positive for society, giving to charity is significantly more problematic.
Problematic, Professor McMahon? It would seem to me that giving to charity is always a positive for society. We celebrate those among us who are the greatest donors to charity.
Yes, and in general, it is warranted. I do want to clarify. In general, giving to charity is good, but one must be very careful for two reasons. First, some charities do not do sufficient amounts of charitable good per pound. And second, some charities receive too much money that could be spent better on other causes. Let me discuss each of these in turn.
This seems to me a rather radical thesis.
It seems that way, but I hope to convince you otherwise by the end of the program. Now, getting back to charities. Some charities simply do not give a lot of their received monies to the actual performance of good acts. For instance, some charities utilize less than 10% of their donations on actual charitable activities. The rest goes to salaries, promotion, and other overhead costs. So for a donation of £100, it may be the case that less than £10 actually goes to helping someone.
That sounds terrible, but it still helps people, right?
Well, yes, but as charitable givers, we should try and reward those charities who do most good with the least amount of money. By that I mean that those thinking of donating to charity should do research on a charity before giving to the cause. There are other charities where more than 50% of donations go to the end cause. These charities are much more deserving of your patronage.
You now have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen to the rest of the interview and answer questions 17 to 20.
Another reason to be discerning when it comes to your choice of charities is what I call the relative utility of a charitable donation.
Let me take a guess here, Professor McMahon. Is the relative utility of a donation how much good it does relative to other donations?
That's just about it, Emma. The relative utility of a donation is how much good a donation does per amount spent. For instance, the disease MND, motor neuron disease, was in the news in recent years, and MND charities received a windfall of donations. This sounds all well and good, but there is a problem. Unlike, say, heart disease, MND does not affect very many people. While it would be wonderful to cure the disease, there are better allocations of our limited charity funds.
Wait, so you're saying it was bad for people to give to MND charities?
Not quite. Only that it was suboptimal. Because there is a limited supply of money given to charity each year, it is important that it is used at least somewhat optimally. And allocating overwhelming amounts of money to a disease that affects very low percentage of people is extremely suboptimal.
That's very interesting, Professor McMahon. So how can our listeners try and optimize their charitable gifts?
First of all, don't be caught up in viral social media campaigns. Instead, use such moments to remind yourself of the importance of giving to charity in general, and not just to niche causes with good promotion. And second, do your research. Before you donate, look up how much of a charity's donation go to the actual end goal. Additionally, look up how many people are affected by the charity's end cause. The more people there are affected, and the worse they are affected, the more likely you should be to donate to that cause. It is all about maximizing good in the world.
That certainly sounds like a noble goal, but if everyone donates...
That is the end of section 2. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
And once again, students, check those answers. In that half minute, the information is still quite fresh in your head, and there's a good chance that you can catch some mistakes if there are some, and you can make the corrections with the information still kind of floating around in your mind. Okay, so again, everybody, this audio is coming from our website, aehelp.com, and to get all of our practice exams and materials and get access to those premium classes, join by clicking that big red button. Let's go through the answers again together. So here we go, section 2. What is the name of the radio show? They said it twice. So first, the radio host says it. She says, "Welcome to ... and then the guy says it later too. He says, "Oh, my wife and I are avid listeners of ... So what was it? Alexander, almost. Abraham, almost. There's got to be a the there. It's no more than 3 words. It's a tricky one. It's not beyond lens. That actually sounds a little bit awkward. It has to be, and it's important here, it's beyond the lens. Okay? So it's like beyond the camera lens, like beyond the lens of the camera, or beyond the lens of the the video. Okay, so that can be understood in many ways. Beyond the lens. Okay, beyond the lens. But you were so close, some of you. That was a tough one. Okay, here you had to match up whether it applies to volunteering, applies to charitable giving, or applies to neither. Now, of course, it's important to understand the difference between the two. Volunteering means you give your time, like you go and you help people, or you help animals, or you help nature, the forest. So you give your time, like to plant trees, so on. Charitable giving is basically you donate what you have. So you give money, or you give clothes, for example, or you give food, for example, to help people, animals, individuals in need. So that's charitable giving. Okay, now these are two very clearly different helpful activities. Or C was applies to neither. Okay. Hi, Jorge. It's good to have you here. Thank you for joining. It's awesome. Just saw that. Wow. Isais Lugo de Leon. Nice to have you. Okay. So number 12 affects fewer people but may be highly inefficient. Number 12, A, volunteering, B, charitable giving, or C, applies to neither. What do you think? Sandra says B, applies to charitable giving, affects fewer people, but may be highly inefficient. Alexander says B. Somebody else said C. I can't read the Cyrillic. I wish I could. Okay. So the answer here is C. Yeah. Neither of these affects few people and is highly inefficient. Charity, they said, affects a lot of people, but could be inefficient. So not fewer people. And volunteering, they said, affects fewer people, but is highly efficient. So that was a tough one, but that was C. Okay. Number 13, can be problematic for various reasons. B, very good. Yeah, some of you got that. Anna, very good. Yeah, that was B. So C. B. Is almost always a positive action for society. Number 14. And this one, again, students' logic, right? Number 14 should be, yeah, very good, Shahrani. It should be A. Good. Yeah. Volunteering, right? Like if you're going to go plant trees and you just went out and you've got your trees and you're putting them in the ground, chances are you're going to be helping nature, right? You're growing plants. Hopefully not bad ones that kill the other plants. But in most cases, when you're volunteering your time, it's going to be a positive action. Okay? Number 15. Subject to many overhead costs. This one, again, you should get, even if you didn't get it right away. You should have gotten B because they talk about it in more detail right after. So they talk about these overhead costs. Overhead costs are like advertising or paying for the salaries of employees. So you should have gotten those. So it was C, B, A, B. Those were the correct answers. Yeah, Shafrani, exactly. The employees, the ads, yep. Okay. So this one, it says choose 2 letters. Again, this multiple choice, they love these kinds of questions on the IELTS because they really have to listen to answer them correctly. And the question was, what are 2 reasons charities can be inefficient? That was the question. The rest of it is all my notes. So all of this part here, I just quickly typed down while they were talking. And students, during the IELTS, even in the computer-based exam, you have a piece of paper where you can take notes. And for these types of questions, you definitely should. So I wrote down not enough money for the money spent. Or sorry, not enough good for the money spent. So it means they're doing good work, but they could do more with that money. So the money could be spent better. And then charity does not give all the money, less than 10%, because they spend it on ads, promotion. So let's take a look at the choices here. Must pay salaries of employees. Maybe. They give less than 10% of the money received to the actual cause. That was verbatim almost, so that one looks really good. The promotion of the charity, that kind of sounds good, but it's not so direct. Doing the most good with the least money. Some causes are not as important as others. Okay. I would say the best answers here are B. They give less than 10% of money received to the actual cause. Why? Because of this and because of this. And what are the other reason that they're inefficient? Because they're doing the most good with the least amount of money. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. So the best one I would say is C. So I would go with B and C on that one. Okay. B and C. The promotion of the charity and giving less than 10%. Maybe D. Okay, moving on to the flow chart here. So charity, now with flow charts, always pay attention to the structure. So you've got 2 sides here, right? You've got one side and then you've got the other side. One side this way, the other side this way. So they're kind of the opposites. Okay. Shafrani, there are no half marks. You have to get them both correct. Okay. Okay, so number 17 was F, MND. Okay. Here you kind of have to figure out the opposites. So 17 was F, MND. Affects many people. The opposite of many are few. So A. And then 19 would have been the opposite of good use of funds. So here it would have been inefficient. B. Right? So F, A, B. F, A, B are the correct answers. Okay, for 3 points. And according to the guest, what is the main goal of charitable giving? He says it a couple of times. I didn't actually even wait for him to finish saying it because he said it so many times. But he said maximizing good, so C. Okay. All right, everybody. So now you have all the answers. How did you do out of 20 for parts 1 and part 2? Now, just a hint. You should be aiming for 16 or more for part 1 and 2 to get those band 7 or higher marks. Okay, how did you do? What did you get when you add your marks up for part 1 and part 2? Abraham says 14 out of 20. Yeah, it's not the best. Shakrani says 13 out of 20. Seema says 10. Okay, time to practice, everybody. And practice you can on the website. So when you join as a premium user, then and it's you just fill this out. Like I say, it's about 30 to 50 bucks US. You'll have a My Student account, and then in your My Student account, just use these tabs every single day and practice. There are lots of videos, practice exams, and much more. And we have these live classes 4 times each week, except for next week because I'll be on vacation. Okay, students? Was it a tougher listening than most? I don't know. I think overall, Shakrani, all of the listening exams have some parts that are easier, some parts that are tougher. Yeah. Okay. All right, students, that's it for today's class. Keep up the good work. Tomorrow we'll do speaking. So I'll be back. We'll do a speaking class, and we'll have a chance to speak with each other for a good part of the class using Zoom. Okay. All right. Anna, I will definitely send those Zoom links out. Okay. I'll take a look at that today and I'll send it out. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have an awesome rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Keep up the good studies. Stay positive. Okay. You are a learning machine. Just give your brain a chance and learn with good materials. Learn with us. Learn with ahelp.com and glshelp.com so you can maximize your time and you can be efficient. I'm Adrian. I'm signing out from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. Bye, everyone.